What's up? Welcome back to the RE Agent Podcast. I am your host, Coach Vikram Deol, and on this solo episode, I want to talk about content. Yes, the elusive word content. The word that makes real estate agents shiver in their pants, stay up late at night, and not hit the record button. You guys, content is king, is what you've heard. Content is the way of the world, is what you've heard. You need to make content. You need to make videos. You need to go viral. You need to do dancing. You guys, you don't need to do any of that. Here's what you need to do. You need to build the muscle of consistency around creating content. That's number one. The most important thing you can do right now is just start recording content. Everybody wants to be perfect. Guess what? I've been recording for the last 45 minutes. I've probably made 700 mistakes. Who cares? I would post the most raw footage 10 years ago. And guess what? I still post raw footage now. The raw footage does better than the stuff that's like highly edited. Everybody's like, oh, your content looks so great. I'm like, yeah, but the reach of the stuff that's raw and real tends to be higher than the stuff that's edited. So it's great to have edited stuff, but it's also important that you guys just get the cadence. It took me 10 years before I hired a video editor. 10 years before I hired a content strategist. 10 years before we started with a little $500 camera, right? Your iPhone, your Android phone is more than plenty. You get a $20, $30, $40 stand on Amazon. You get a couple of cheap lights. For $100 to $200, you could have a recording studio that nobody would know is not professional. Get a couple of lights, get a little lavalier mic that has a wire. You connect it to the thing. Bada bing, bada boom. You got decent audio. You got decent video. And then you just start creating. Just start sharing stories, right? So here's 2 quick tips on how to create content. Create a note. Maybe you're using like a Trello or a Monday. If you're not using a sophisticated platform like that, just create a note in your iPhone. And every time you get a content idea, put it in the note. You don't have to make that content, but just every time you get an idea, throw it in the note. Your content creativity time is ongoing. You just keep doing it. Right now, maybe you block out like 45 minutes once a week or 30 minutes once a week where you sit down and you're just going to write down ideas and jot them down, or you're going to do some research on what other agents are doing in your marketplace or other marketplaces that are winning, but you're just going to do it one time a week. The second tip is when you create content, you're not creating ideas. So you are going to block out a separate time once a week to batch 5 to 10 videos. All right, Vikram, how do we do that? Well, throughout the week, you've been writing ideas down. Sometimes you watch a video like this and you're like, oh, that's a great idea. Grab the link to this show and put it in the note. So now when you go back and you see the note, you're like, oh, what was I thinking? You have the context. Next time you're sitting on the toilet and you're like, scrolling through, go to the link, click it, listen to it, right? Timestamp it. 5 minutes in, I liked what the guy had to say. Timestamp it, and then go back and listen and put 4 or 5 bullet points. And then when you go back and you're creating your content, you have your 4 or 5 bullet points. And you're like, boom, I got it. You guys, your iPhone could be a teleprompter, so you could be looking at the camera and the script just shows up. There are so many tools available if you become resourceful with your resources, but you have to put in the effort. You have to commit to doing content for the rest of your life. I know it sounds daunting. It sounds scary, but content is so much easier once you start doing it. So this quick tip, right? 1, make ideas always. Just have a little note, Trello, Monday, whatever software you're using, just have a little note, the Notes app, right? Notability, whatever you're using, and just make ideas all day long. Just ideas. Maybe you share it with a couple of people. If you have a team, share it with a couple of people on your team and they can add ideas in there. And the second thing is you create content separately than when you create ideas. If you just start doing this and you spend an hour a week recording and 15 to 30 minutes a week making ideas, in 90 days, you will have so much stuff and you'll have so many ideas that you're going to be blown away because you're like, there's no way that I can create all of this content. It's absolutely absurd. There's no way I could create all this content. And you will become what we call a content creator. And then you'll become an influencer. And who cares about that? You will become a real estate agent with a real estate brand that brings you deals. And one of the things I teach inside the Real Estate Growth Academy to my clients is that if you want to win before you walk into a listing, if you want to win before you walk into a buyer's, if somebody sees your content online and they like it, and then you walk into their house, they're going to say, oh my God, you're that famous person that I watch online all the time. I love your content. Know, like, and trust already established. So, hey, if you like this episode of the RE Agent Podcast, do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend, share with your brokerage, share with anybody. If you want some outside help on building your brand, creating more sales, and having more influence in this marketplace, just drop us a message. We'd love to help you. Otherwise, we'll see you on the next episode of the RE Agent Podcast, the #1 real estate podcast in the world. See you later.